Hello, Des and Jeff watch stuff, and today we're going to watch stuff from the 1980s. I have no notes on this. I was going to make notes because I learned a lot about this movie watching it again for the first time since we saw it on HBO back in, I'm going to go like 1984 maybe. I was 10, 11.
Oh boy.
Maybe it was 85.
You watched this movie when you were like 11?
11 or 12. Let's say it was 85. Maybe I was 12.
That sounds messy.
It's called Hardbodies. We watched it again for the first time. We found it on Tubi. Yeah, it was on
awesome.
Tubi. Yeah, Tubi is awesome. Hardbodies is a 80s raunchy sex comedy. They don't really make movies like this anymore, but this movie, I found out actually, this movie was originally made for the Playboy Channel. And then it got bought by whoever, but that's pretty much all I can remember from reading up on this movie because I got fascinated with this. I really did. This movie fascinated us as little kids watching it real late at night on HBO.
I never saw it, so
it was new to you.
it was new to me.
I'll start off like this: cannot be made today.
No.
Can you describe the plot to Hardbodies? I like when you try to describe it, and what is the plot to Hardbodies?
There's a plot? I just saw a lot of flesh.
You're not even like 5 minutes into the movie, and then there's boobies.
5 minutes and there's boobs.
80s hair everywhere. 80s women in bikinis.
Yes.
And stuff.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'll give it a shot then.
It's very 80s.
If you can't describe the plot, I will try to.
I'll help.
Don't remember any of their names. Any of the characters' names.
I don't think half of them had names.
This beach kid gets locked out of his apartment because he can't pay the rent.
Right.
And he stumbles upon 3 guys who are supposed to be 30 years old, and they look like they're like 1,000.
Yeah.
They're all newly divorced, and they rent a beach house for the summer. So he tells them like, I'll help you hook up with young hot girls.
I'll help you get girls if you
creepy.
let me crash.
Which is creepy. But I'll say this though about the cast though before we go any further. So I don't want to forget this. The cast of characters. This is what we were calling them too because we couldn't remember their names. The kid was we couldn't get Billy Zabka, so we got this guy.
Right. It was fake Billy Zabka.
Yeah. And then there was the 3 old guys. One guy looked like Flounder from Animal House, but we couldn't get Flounder, so we got this guy.
Yeah.
One guy looked like Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong, but we couldn't get Tommy Chong, so we got this guy. And the other guy is like Bradley Cooper. Because why not? I call him Bradley Cooper.
But he wasn't. But he wasn't even close.
So that's the basic plot.
Right.
And they just party and they try to pick up girls, and the girls are like really young compared to these guys, and they throw parties.
They're all of age, but
Well, yeah, but
these guys just look so old, and it's even worse when they're with these girls because they make them look really, really old.
But that's as far as the plot goes. I mean, like, it doesn't really even wrap up.
Things happen, but nothing really like develops.
The main kid, and they don't really push this in the movie. He needs to kind of take more control of his life and have a direction. They talk about that a little bit because his girlfriend's kind of annoyed with him,
right? Because
he doesn't really have a direction, I think, and she kind of wants to have a direction in life other than being a beach bimbo. Mm-hmm. There's, of course, there's a couple montages, of course, because it's an 80s movie.
Yes, the chase scene.
The chase scene on like the jet skis. And,
yes.
And there's some kind of weird it's not a jet ski, but it's like a surfboard that's powered.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. I don't know why that thing doesn't really exist now.
I think it does. It probably does, but I don't know.
Not on this coast, though.
I don't know. I don't know. Where do you think? I don't know where Hardbodies even takes place. Probably.
It seemed like it was like Malibu or something. I think actually that may have been what they were saying.
So you're saying not the Jersey Shore?
Absolutely not.
Too
many blondes, not enough gold chains.
True. True. Although there's just that one Italian guy,
There always has to be one.
but he's a gay Italian guy. I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, it was great.
Some of it was really funny. I thought it was really. Some of it was borderline like sexual assault on these women.
Yeah, and looking back on it in the year 2025, it does look that way because we tend to look through that lens now, but we didn't do that then.
No, the movie's all good fun. There is one.
It's all good fun.
It's all good fun. Oh yeah, like what he would say. It's all good fun. But there's one part of it, there's a tonal shift for like 10 minutes where the fake Bradley Cooper guy who isn't Bradley Cooper at all,
The decent-looking, very arrogant guy who's not as old as the other two. That's the only way to describe him.
He's like a super nice guy though.
Yeah.
Throughout the movie, until this one part where he turns into like a jerk.
Yeah.
And then they don't do anything about it. Like because there's no real villain in the movie.
No.
It just doesn't resolve itself. But who cares? I guess that's Hardbodies. Yeah.
Yeah. That's yep. That's it.
And there's this redheaded guy. I can't remember his name, but he flips you off in 1,000 languages or some kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's so great. That guy's great.
Our friend Paul Yannick used to do that when we were kids because his I believe his dad, wonderful man, rest in peace, Paulie. He used to work for Service Electric Cable, so Paul had all the channels, because his dad worked for the cable company. So Paul would watch, this late night on HBO, or if maybe it was on Cinemax, if Cinemax was a thing, on Skinamax, like they used to call it. Oh, by the way, this beer is really good. Maine Brewing Company.
And Paulie didn't spend his childhood trying to look through the wavy lines at 2 a.m. He actually got the channel.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Here's the weird thing about me and my childhood friends. I remember weird stuff about it.
Yeah.
Weird stuff that we did. Like I for some reason when I was watching, so I'm like, our friend Paul used to do that. He used to do that.
Wonder if he still does.
Oh, we're gonna ask him. We're gonna ask him. We're gonna tag him in this video. So, So that's Hardbodies.
Ha.
I enjoyed it. I don't need to watch it again, but we will watch the sequel. There's a Hardbodies too.
Okay, we have to watch it.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that.
I'm invested now.
As far as like 80s like sex comedies go, it's up there with probably one of the better ones, but I'm not gonna give it any higher than a. Okay, I'm not going 6.9. I'm going 6.8. Yeah, 6.8. I'll give it overall. 6.8 overall. As far as movies like that though, it's probably like a high 7. Because there's a bunch. I mean, the 80s were filled with movies like that. This one was one of the better ones, I think. But it does kind of fall apart in the end.
Yeah, nobody really cares.
Yeah, really.
It doesn't really matter. There's the party scene, because there has to be a big party scene with everybody that that's there.
And that's part of what couldn't be done today, because you got the guy who's like, I'll take pictures of you, and then all the girls are like, oh, you're working for a modeling agency.
Just walk into the room and they're like, oh, you work for a modeling agency? Okay. Oh, they're all doing that. Okay.
And we're sitting there like, oh my God.
Okay.
This man is lying to these women to see them naked. Naked.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's a period piece, we'll say. It is of its time. I did enjoy it because it was goofy. Yeah. It was really goofy. And yes, there's a lot of flash, but it's really goofy.
There's even some man butt in it. Which
I
was like, oh my God.
there's a little bit of peen in the beginning too. Yes. If you watch closely.
I didn't watch that closely, but
I did.
I was there.
Like, peen. From fake Billy Zabka.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's
80s peen.
What do you?
80s boobs. A lot of 80s boobs. Oh my God. But you know what? They were natural looking girls. Yeah. They all looked different. Some of the guys weren't like good looking. Like
the girls didn't have the angry boobs,
no. Like staring at you with the hostility. No, it was
I'm
nice.
drinking like everything over. I'm
It
just like,
was nice
I'm grabbing
to-
this, I'm grabbing that. Okay, I'm sorry.
It was. I mean, they were all stupidly skinny, and
No,
they still looked real.
right? They weren't skinny by today's.
Oh,
Some of them
please.
weren't skinny by today's standards. Some of them were, but some of them were like,
Oh,
if they tried to be in a movie today, like there'd be like some kind of producer going like,
no,
you need to lose
they
20
wouldn't even
pounds.
get close. Yeah.
Right.
The one girl who was roller skating down the boardwalk, she had bruises, and she actually looked like a girl that would be like roller skating in real life down the boardwalk, like a little bumped up, tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tough and cool.
Speaking of tough, we didn't even talk about Vixen.
Oh yes.
The band Vixen was in the movie,
Right.
playing some really terrible songs.
Mm.
And they looked like super 80s. I'm glad that they changed their look slightly when they did Edge of a Lonely Heart, and they actually got big on MTV. If you remember, we're 80s kids. You remember?
You just combined two songs into one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Edge of a Broken Heart is not by
Edge
Vixen?
of a broken heart, not of a lonely heart.
Did I say Owner of a Lonely Heart?
You said Edge of a Lonely Heart. That's two different songs into one. I mean, that's a good song, though.
Some people don't like that album by Yes, just say no.
Too bad.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do like that. What is it, 90210? No.
What?
The name of the album is like 902 something. It's not 90210.
I don't know that one.
I always call it, that's the album that Owner of a Lonely Heart
I
song.
got it.
And Leave It. Leave It's such a good song. We're gonna listen to some Yes later.
What is the name of the song?
Leave It.
Oh my god.
One down, one to go. Another
Oh!
town and one more show.
Love that song.
See, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not talking
Get me
about
an
Yes.
education.
Talking about Hardbodies.
Okay, Hardbodies.
What do you give it? Give me a number. What do you give it?
It can't be a 6'9".
You can be if you want, because you're a child.
It's fine.
Okay.
No, actually, I was gonna say like 4.8. It wasn't a terrible movie. It just was not a movie that I ever. It went all over the place, and no, it doesn't deserve. It doesn't deserve a 6'9".
Because I say anything over like 5 to 5.5 is like watchable.
Okay, well then it's a 5
Okay.
because you can watch it and have fun with it, but you're not gonna want to watch it again.
No, you don't need to watch it.
No, see, all right, 5.
All right, and that's it. Jeff and Dev. Yeah.
What? What's my name?
I've been drinking. Des and Jeff watch stuff. That's it. Hardbodies. I say watch it. She says watch it, but never again. If you're bored or if you want to relive your youth of
Watch
watching it
for
through the
fun,
lines,
but don't expect much. That's all.
other than boobs
Yeah, watch it for the boobs.
and flipping someone off in 40 languages.
Yes, there were some quality things to learn in that movie.
There was a couple of good jokes, I think. A couple.
It wasn't awful,
But it was a 5
but
for
it
you.
was just a 5.
All right, that's it.